Good morning. Feels like fall today. It is in fact fall today, September 22nd. Oh man, here we go. Maybe starting beans today, but yeah, it's supposed to be high like 60, 61. Totally different than yesterday when it was 85 degrees out. Well, let's see what we can find this morning, and maybe we'll combine some beans this afternoon. Okay, so I have a little project to work on this morning. I'll just show you. It's easier if I just show you rather than tell you. So on our semis over here, in our grain trailers specifically, this is our older trailer, and a couple of years ago I put some lights on here. You may have seen these if you've watched some of my harvest videos, but there's a light right here, another one on the back hopper that shines down into the pit when we're dumping. It's got a switch right here, and it draws power from the truck, so they're super nice and easy and stuff. We really like those. I have another set for our new grain trailer, new being 5-6 years old, however long we've had it, that I just haven't gotten put on. And so I think we're gonna pull that out here this morning and try and get those lights installed. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got some lights, same type of deal. It's on the other one. They come with a little bracket. We'll drill a hole and mount it right up underneath there so it shines down into the pit. I've got this wire harness here that's got the correct end, plug right into that light. It has a relay in it with a on-off switch. We'll drill a hole for that and mount it somewhere, and then we've got to get power to here. The trick here is figuring out where do we have power on the trailer, and where do we got to run wires to steal power, I guess. So when I did that other one, I believe there was a up there in the front, there was a power wire. There was like accessory power or something. So I need to crawl up there and test that. We need to get a test light out and see what we can find and figure out where to steal power from. But I believe there's an auxiliary power. Well, there's a wiring diagram up there too. There's an auxiliary power wire coming off the plug from the trailer. It's not necessarily tied to the lights on the trailer, so that's a good spot to do it. Okay, I've tracked down which pin has power to it. So we are coming out here to look at this other trailer to see how I wired it. I found two different spots, I think, that we can connect wires, and I'm pretty sure I came forward on this trailer. So the wires come through that cover, they all come up there, around. Yeah, that one with the big loop there is the blue wire. And that's my wires going back to power that, and then we've got a ground that goes up to there. But this new trailer, the ground is a little bit different there. The wiring is a little bit different, but we can do it the same. The other option was clear in the back by the taillights. There's a plug that's got power with the lights on. This wire in the front is a keyed power, so anytime the key is on, it would work. This one back here, which I don't know if this trailer is the same or not, but there's a plug right in here that had power anytime the lights were on, which would also work because you're not going to use these other lights unless that one's on. But anyway, let's just take a look here at how we ran wires underneath here. Okay. Alright, so we got the bulk of the wire harness tucked up here. We ran a blue and a white. Those are the ones that go forward. And I must have just drilled a little hole here to get into that rail and then chased them that way. And then we've got the one wire here that goes back to the light, and then the extra is all there, and another wire that goes forward to the light, and then the switch wire. So we're gonna try and match this as close as possible. I'm gonna need some wire hangers to keep all that stuff coiled up, but it should work. Light number one mounted. Okay, we got our front light mounted. Hole for a switch. We're making progress here. Alright, we are just about done getting these lights installed. I gotta run over to my buddy's and get his weather pack crimpers. There's a single pin weather pack connector on that blue auxiliary wire on the trailer, and rather than cut it off and butt splice something into it, I'm gonna put a single pin weather pack on my wire to supply power to those lights. And I have the terminals and everything I need, except the crimpers, because I'm too cheap to buy the crimpers, and he's got one. But we're gonna combine some beans today. It's sunny, it's windy, it's a great bean drying day, so we're gonna go ahead and do some. I think it's just we're gonna wait till after lunch. It's about 10 o'clock now, so after we get this trailer wrapped up here, we will start getting some stuff around, maybe get the bean head hooked up to the combine. We got to drive around. Dad tells me there's another field that might go today. We might have 40 acres to do instead of 22, so well, that would be good. I put it all back together already, but our connection is made. All good. All good. Blue wire. Brock's gonna get our death tote taken back out to by the fuel tank, so we can get to that when we need it here. We're gonna pull that wagon out, take it down to the seed warehouse, maybe treat a little bit of wheat, the wheat that we will need to plant the field or two that we're going to combine today. So we'll have to figure out how much we need, but that's my plan there. We're gonna use the 40-20 since it's unhooked and ready to go. Look at all that oil. Oh, better check our oil levels before we go too far here. And we've got time, so if we do combine these two fields today, which we're going to do at least one of them, it's only maybe 3 hours worth of combining. So if we can get started by 3-4 o'clock, we'll get it done, no problem. And I just got a text from my wheat supplier that I bought wheat from. We're good. And they are on their way down to bring my wheat, so that's good. We might have to make a delivery quick. I think I can get this one out without moving that one. It's gonna be a little close. We'll try it. Oh, we should flip our drawbar too. We'll be all right for this, but we need to flip that back around. I curve it up when we're pulling that traveler so that it sits better and where I want it to, but for most things we like that down lower. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Are you kidding me? Okay. Maybe we're gonna make it. I'm shocked by that. That was as close as you can get to hitting something without it. Anyway, we're good there. All right, well, we got our wagon in there and set up, and we'll probably treat a little bit here, or maybe we'll wait till tomorrow. I don't know. But my new wheat delivery is in, so we're gonna get this truck unloaded, and then we probably need to deliver some of this, to be honest, because I got guys asking for it. Yeah, we're gonna worry about treating wheat tomorrow. It's almost noon already, and we were talking for a while and unloading stuff, and I've got to get some of this wheat delivered here. So I think we're gonna load up the trailer, try and deliver this one load to two guys that are in the same area there, and when we get back we'll get the combine out and go combine some wheat. Let's go. All right, I got our gooseneck trailer hooked up. I probably better check the tires because we're gonna have a heavy load, and we're not going 2 miles down the road, we're going 20, so we better make sure everything's good before we load it up too heavy. Let's go. Just dropped off the first of 2 stops here. You come down this way, and I tell you what, it makes you think we're way behind. There's beans off all over the place. There is a field up here in the corner. I'll show you. There's a field up here in the corner that's got wheat coming up already. Planted it, and wheat's coming out of the ground. It's crazy. A couple combines out already, and there's just a pocket here. We're 25 miles east of our home farm. Berkey is that way. Waldron is that way. And there's a lot done here. Okay, you ready? On the other side of this tracks, there's a little teeny tiny field here. It's like 1.5 acres maybe. But they combined the beans. He said, when I asked him, he said, yeah, they combined that on Wednesday and planted stuff on Friday, and there's wheat coming up in that field. Wow, unbelievable. That's early. See combines. This may actually be one of you guys. I recognize the name on the truck and the guy in the comments. Yep, combine of beans. Are you excited yet? Does it give you the itch? It gives me the itch. Like, come on, we gotta go. We gotta go. Oh, we made it. Brock's got a grain cart out with an 8RX fueled and DEF put in. I had him getting the monitors all ready, so we are ready to go there. We've got to get the combine out, get that brush installed, hooked up to the head, and just make sure all our settings are right. Give me an hour. An hour, we'll be combining beans. Let's go, let's go. Let's check a few settings before we go. There's a... Ooh, wonder which one that's supposed to be on. Corn or wheat? I believe the wheat setting. We're gonna leave it there for now. I'll double check it when I get in the cab. Look at the book. This arm here needs to be in the wheat setting. We need our chopper down. We need the knives in. I think they're out right now. Yeah, so we gotta unscrew that and move that in and then tighten it up before it falls out. Two hands, guys, two hands. And we need it on high speed, which is pulled out, which I believe we are in. Yes. Okay. So that's good. And the only other thing is the rotor speed. We want in the high speed, which is this handle. Is it in or out? They need to label that better. It's right there. I don't remember which way it goes in or out. Okay, we've double checked some stuff. We checked all the tire pressures. We got a GPS receiver. That was a very important step. Not only so that I don't have to drive, but because it also maps our yield data, which is important. And I stocked the fridge, also very important. So, and we got our iPad. We use that for mapping, yield monitor stuff. We've got to go get the head picked up so we can install that brush. And then I think we'll be ready to try it. Look, a brush. We got it. It was 2 bolts. That was easy. Getting monitors and everything set up here, and we're about to run the combine, make sure everything works and sounds good. This button. Oh, she's smooth. Oh, it's smooth. Nice. Okay, let's see how we get our settings set right. Oh, we're doing it. Fall harvest 22 has started. You gotta give me a minute to get comfortable, get some ends opened up here, and then we'll start figuring some stuff out. We'll see how our yield monitor looks, our moisture. That's probably more important than the yield right now. What does it say? What does it say? 11%. I don't buy it. I'm not buying it, but maybe. We'll see. But everything seems to be working. We've got beans in the tank, so we're doing okay. Uh-oh, we might have a problem already. It's not feeding in there, and it looks like we may have broken a cutter bar, maybe. Great. Well, I'm not sure. I don't see anything wrong. I pushed that pile of stuff in. Let's see if everything moves. Yeah, it is. Alright. I wonder if that brush isn't keeping stuff from feeding in very good. It's going to cause me problems. To be fair, we're in a kind of uneven spot here that we kind of screwed it up with some tillage last fall, so we'll keep going. We'll see if we have more trouble. If so, we might have to do some adjustments. Can probably lower our cutter bar flex pressure a little bit, help it flex more. Gotta have a concave dip right in the middle of the cutter bar, the head. And while these heads are very flexible, they generally flex up and not down. So when you have a depression and a dip that it's got to try and follow down into, it doesn't do a very good job of that. And that means that stuff won't cut off very low, and then it piles up on the cutter bar and it doesn't get pushed into the head, and then you start pushing stuff over, and it can be a problem. Okay, we've got end rows done. We need Brock to get back here. He was finishing up greasing the cart. We're going to drive up here just a little ways, get operating good, and then we are going to stop and get out and do some checking. I hate checking on end rows because it's never representative of most of the field. You get thin beans and you just can't tell. So we're going to stop. We're going to try and look at the differences in header loss, which would be anything in the combine or in the stubble before what's coming out the back of the combine. And then we'll look farther back and we'll see what kind of loss we're seeing. The monitor shows that we're pretty good, but you never trust it on day one. So let's just go ahead and stop right here, and we're just going to kind of sit right here.
So, and notice how the beans don't come flying up and hitting the windshield there. That's what that brush does. It kind of keeps them down and they go into the head rather than flying over top of it and landing down there. So, I don't know, there's a little bit of a pile in front of it. I'm not crazy about that. And you can see we do have a lot of beans sitting on the cutter bar, which is the point where you guys tell me to get an air bar. And yeah, we'll get there. All right, so when we look right in here, we're behind the head, but we're in front of where everything's coming out the back. So if we see any beans in here, we know it's header loss. Now we also know that our rows are 15-inch rows. So 15-inch row is more than a foot if you go a foot square. But yeah, we got some beans there, right? Yep, I don't like seeing that. So does that make an air bar worth it? There's 4 right there. And there's 2 right there. It's not a huge amount. But yeah, that's not really a bean, but that one is. That one is. So there's not a lot I can do there. I can play with the angle. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to tip the whole head down. That'll help get them into the combine a little bit better. So we can play with that some, but that's where an air bar comes into play. Yeah, I think it would help. Now in tall beans like these, I didn't think it would help a lot. That's maybe showing me otherwise. But in short beans is where it really would help. However, in talking to some people that run them, they have made the comment to me that, yeah, they work. They do what they say they're going to do and put beans in the head. What they don't tell you, the company or the people that are really pushing them, is how much power they suck up and how much extra fuel you burn because of it. And is it worth it? Are you saving enough to pay for it? I tend to not use that fuel argument very much. Because I think fuel is a minor cost in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, we're going to look back here and see if it looks like there's a lot more, and then we know we're throwing them through the combine and not just losing them at the head. The thing is, there's not a lot more. There's one here, there's one here, there's a couple, but that's not significantly more than what we were seeing at the head. So I think the combine is working well. What we're seeing is a little bit of header loss, and we got to try and clean that up. And we can do that by the angle and tilting it and stuff. But even here, it doesn't look as bad as what we looked at right up there by the combine. You know, there's one, there's one. There's a few out here, but it's not a lot. I'm not horribly upset by it. I want to do better. And there is our sweet, sweet grain cart rig. Dang, that thing's cool. Oh yeah, you guys remember that cool machine sync thing that we've got? That's awesome. Combine is controlling the grain cart. Took it a second. I thought he was going to run into me the first time he engaged it, but we got her. That didn't even take that long. The sample looks really good. A few green ones, but nothing major. And it says they're dry. I don't know. I'm not real confident in what our moisture or our yield says, but the combine seems to think it's accurate. So we're going to find out here pretty soon, and we'll see what Brock's got for a weight. When we get up here to the end, I'm going to just keep unloading and we'll compare that to what the combine says, and we'll at least know if we're in the ballpark. Combine says 21,600 pounds wet weight. He said 20,660 or something. So we're 1,000 pounds off on 20,000. So our yield monitor is reading high. I expect it to get better. It does have, we do have the active yield calibration on this, those little silver weigh pads in there. Now it's still using last year's calibration stuff. It takes 7-10 loads or grain tank loads to get that kind of dialed in a little bit. So we're not going to mess with it right now. Once we're done with this whole field, we'll see what it says compared to what the monitor said, and we'll adjust from there. But we can go in. You want me to shut the tractor off and just leave the key on so the computer stays, or the iPad stays charging? Because it's at 3%. No, there's not a USB charger, a 12-volt charger in there to plug that iPad into. Anyway, whatever I was saying. Oh, we can go in and correct the yield data on the computer afterwards based on the grain cart data. So it's not super critical that we're right. We want it to be right. How good do these beans look to you guys? Huh? They don't look that great. I've never thought our beans looked that great, but look what our yield monitor says. Dry yield, 79. Okay? Okay? So I just did the math. I just told you the yield monitor is high. It is high. It's high by 4.6%. 4.6% less than 79 is still 74. That's freaking awesome beans. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what it is when we get to the end of this field, but I can't believe we have 70 bushel beans out here. That's unbelievable. All right, we've got almost a grain cart full over there, around 50,000 pounds. It's a little bit light, but we're going to load that truck because it's almost 4:30, and if we leave now, Phil can get a load into the elevator tonight. We're assuming they still close at 5, so there's not a lot of guys running around here.
50,300 after that last dump that you had.
50,300, okay. All right, well, let me know after you unload what the load weight is. Anyway, these seem to be really good beans. They're more than 70. I don't know how much more, but I'm blown away by how good they are here. So everything seems to be running well on the combine. I've adjusted the cutter bar a little bit to try and scoop them beans in a little bit better, reduce our header loss. They're also dry. Like, I was not expecting it to be dry either, but we're 13.09 average moisture, so that's really good. With beans, I was talking about corn yesterday, but with beans you want them to be at 13%. Now, beans will change in moisture a lot throughout the day. They'll pick up moisture overnight, and then as the sun and wind, they will dry out throughout the day. You could start the day at 15% at noon, and by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, they may be 10%. So it is what it is. You don't really want to harvest them once they get below 13. I mean, you do. You got to harvest them, but you don't want them to get drier than 13%, because when you get docked, if they're over 13, you don't get any extra credit for being under 13. So you're giving up weight that you could be selling as water by hauling in extra dry beans. So anyway, all seems to be going pretty well here. The only thing that's not working is my yield map up here on my Connect Mobile, and I'm not sure why. It shows the combine, it shows everything. I've got a scale put in there, but it's not showing up. Now when I click on like the ground speed, it's mapping that, so why isn't it mapping the yield? I'm not sure what's going on there. It is always a good day when you can start harvest and everything just works, does what it's supposed to do. And then to top it off, the beans are dry and they're good. So this is good. This is really good. Looking at our grain sample a little bit, looking to see if we got splits. I don't see any. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the job we're doing. A few pods of green beans, but that's nothing crazy. We could probably tighten the concave down just a little bit, try and keep some of those pods out. But you'll notice it's quite windy. The dust is blowing pretty hard crosswind. That can have a pretty good effect on our spread pattern. Look in the mirror there, you can kind of see the dust flying and the stuff coming out the back of the spreader, the chopper there. Whoa, now it got dark. What happened? There you go. This combine, really cool thing it has, we've got that power cast tailboard, right? And so we can adjust the speed at which those spinners back there spin. And by doing so, we can throw that trash farther or narrower to have a good spread pattern. And you'll notice over there, our spread pattern's pretty darn good, but I've been playing with it a little bit. On top of being able to adjust them, you can actually tell it which direction you want it to throw harder to. So example, now I have it 3 left. 3 is just a number, but so it is biasing it to that left spinner to throw it harder and farther, spinning it faster to throw it into the wind. It slows down the one that's closer to the beans over here so that we don't throw it too far and get it into the standing beans, because then it's a problem trying to harvest them. You get stuff bunches up on the head there on that side where you've got trash piled up there. And even cooler than that, when I turn around, it flips automatically and it'll throw it to the right more, which is really cool. Because I know somebody is going to ask me, no, I don't have my cameras yet. I just called my salesman to ask him where my cameras are, and he doesn't have them either. He doesn't know. So if any of you have a connection at John Deere, or happen to be down in, Longdon, Ohio, where there's 2 wrecked X9s that have cameras on them and want to bring them to me, I need some cameras for this combine, and I can't get my hands on any. So I'm pretty frustrated by this, but fortunately, I am capable of setting a combine to do a decent job. So they're not 100% necessary, but it would sure be nice. I paid for them. It'd be nice. Wouldn't it, Brock?
Yeah. Because then I could run this combine.
So here's my dilemma, right? Brock wants to run the combine, but I am the combine guy. And when I'm not the combine guy, my dad is. The problem is, if I'm not in the combine, I'm in an 8RX, which is a pretty sweet ride. It's a hard choice, and I can't run them both. So, it's... You're pretty lucky, dude.
I know.
So am I. Let's see if our moisture spikes up here where some of these got some green leaves on them yet. We can get up there along the woods where they're in the shade more. There were some green ones up there. What's it say? What's it say? No, that's not right there. 15-1. So yeah, a little higher, but that's not bad. There's the green ones. Heck, I've combined whole fields of 16% beans before. Okay, those might get to 17. Blend them off. We'll be fine. No problem. Done. Knocked out the first 21.5 acres. And they were dang good beans. Phil just called me with the weight from the truck. We were 300 pounds different to the cart, to the truck. So that's pretty darn close. And we know what we were off from the combine. We're maybe 4% high. Maybe 4%. There's still over 70 bushel beans. Holy crap, where'd that come from? So we're going to get the combine empty. We're going to drop the head. And we've got another field that's 5 miles north of here that's 18 acres. And, well, let's go do it tonight. I am thinking there is more on that green cart load than there was on the first one. So, yeah. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's get this unhooked and get ready to move. We should probably go look at that field first. I have not been up there to look at it. Dad went and looked at it. It's the same variety that was in this field. They were planted about the same time. They're probably ready. Do we just go, or do I drive up there and look? We should probably drive up there and look. We're gonna send it. Yeah, there's a few greener ones there, but given how dry those last ones were, I mean, if they're under 15, I'm going. So let's go get the combine. Let's go, let's go, let's go. On to the next field. Oh, it's so much fun having a good time. First day of harvest. Let's do it. Unfortunately, we don't have a power ladder. Manual ladder. We're driving by this field of beans. This was the first field of beans that we planted. You can see how green they still are. That's the difference in maturity. So the beans that we're combining are a 2.2 maturity. Those are a 3.3 maturity. So they're all full maturity group, longer season than the ones that we're doing now. And while they're turning, they're still at least 2, probably 3 weeks out from being ready. So makes a big difference how your soybean maturities. There's a different variety right there, that last little strip that's clearly farther along. Well, we've done 8 acres, and I finally feel like we have the end rows opened up in this field. And there's like, I don't know, 9 acres left. It's just the way that this one is. There's a lot of end rows and stuff, but they're probably not quite as good at beans as the ones we were just in. I think that has to do with the fact that it didn't rain here as much this summer. There was times, my irrigated field is just across the section over here. And so there was a lot of times when we got rain at home that we didn't get it up at the irrigated field, and I assume not up here as well. And so that seems to be making a difference because it's the same variety. They were planted roughly the same time. That would be a pretty good guess. I'd have to look and see if there was any other spraying differences, but I doubt it. So, and they're not bad beans by any means, right? I did take a 2% yield correction off, so this should show 2% lower than what it would have in the other field there, because we're trying to get it closer to what the cart says and actual weight. But yeah, and they're a touch wetter. You can see some green leaves out here every now and then, especially along the ends. There was some green spots, but we're still 13.6 average, and I'll run those all day. you guys see that? Can you see it? Yeah, neither can I. It's that time of night when the sun is right there and you can't hardly see anything because of the shadows on the head. We were pushing a minute ago and I could only tell because of the stubble behind the head was messed up, but it's alright. We don't have that much to do here. Alright, we are, well, we got some short rows done, we got a couple long rows, and we got some short rows on the other side of the house to do yet. But we're going to unload on the go here using our fancy dancy machine sink. And Brock's got his end of it turned on anyway, so we'll see how this goes. Phil is up here with a truck waiting for it to get topped off. We need just a little bit more to top the truck off, and then we're obviously going to have some left, but not a full second truck. There's not as many acres here as there was in the first field, and they're not quite as good at beans. So, you know. Alright, so let's explain how this works. This video is going to be stupid long. I should do this a different day, but we're going to do it now anyway. So, we got a grain cart, we got our auger out, and if you look at my display, you'll see there's a little red box there, right? And then if you'll look, you'll see a little dot there and a little dot there. That dot is the tractor. This is our home point. Look, it's Brock Zuber driving this tractor. He's got to hit the auto steer button and go. And he's probably going to run into us when he does it. Or not. Maybe we're not going to unload on the go. Maybe. There he comes. There he comes. Sorry, you're looking right into the sun. Can you see anything? He's still learning how this works. It's way too close. It's too close. It's too close. I don't like it. We should hear a beep. There it is. So now we should have control. And we can start unloading. And if I speed up or I slow down, he will speed up or slow down. And we can see inside the cart there. Cool. But if I go to the right page, which would be this page, I can actually move him in and out. Like he's too close. So we'll move him out. There, did you see the tractor move? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I want him to be a little bit farther forward. So we're going to nudge him. Oh, there he goes. That's awesome. That is pretty awesome. Alright, we are done. They were good beans, not as good as the first field, which I'm a little surprised by because this is a better farm in general. But like I said, we didn't get to rain up here this summer, so that must have made the difference. But 68.3, we won't complain about that. We'll have to check the cart scales versus what the total for the field was to see how accurate we are, but we got to be closer. I mean, we're within a bushel or two, I would say there. So that's fantastic. Those are awesome beans. Brock's getting our head unhooked for us. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop it on the cart and head back. He is going to wait here for Phil to come back with a truck and get the cart empty, and then he can bring that home. Okay, we've made it back to the farm here. New thing I'm trying this year. So, I have seen people talk about in the past, and probably you guys on YouTube, but also other places where in order to keep your windows sparkling clean and not dusty and have to wash them every day, you should buy one of these. You can't read that. California dusters. This little mop thingy. It's for dusting your car off, your fancy sports car, when it gets dusty sitting in the desert. Apparently it works really good on windows on combines, but you have to do it at night before they get dew on them and the dust starts to stick. So, every night, we're going to wipe our windows down and see if that prevents the need to wash them as often. We're still going to have to wash them, right? Oh, you can't see it. It's a nice sunset. It really is. All right, we are done combining for the night. Our head is sitting on the road up there, though, so we've got to, not on the road, but it's right on the side of the road. It's a dirt road, but we got to go get it and get it home. Brock should be bringing a cart. Phil's got the other truck. We're good. Let's go get that cart. All right, we got to head back. You guys can't see me because it's dark, but we had a good day. We got almost 40 acres combined, which is not a productive day, but we didn't start till 3 o'clock, and it's the first day, and the beans are good, like really good. So that's awesome. So it is going to be a busy harvest, but especially tomorrow. See you later, Brock.
See ya.
Anyway, we've got to treat wheat in the morning. That is priority number one because we're going to start planting wheat tomorrow. And then we've got, what else do I have to do tomorrow? I might have to deliver some wheat. I've got some wheat to treat for a neighbor. I had somebody drop off a wagon load of wheat today, so that's what I've got to do. Phil's going to haul these beans in the morning to start delivering on some of our contracts, and we might combine again tomorrow. We've got another field. I thought it was a couple of days away, but given what we found today and how dry these beans were, we're going to go look at them. We may do them tomorrow. We may hold off until Saturday, so I don't know. But if you guys are enjoying this content and you want to see more of it, make sure you don't miss any. Please hit that subscribe button for me. Give the video a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. Or just know that I post a video pretty much 8 a.m. every morning. And you'll get a lot of good harvest content. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to get started. And it's going to take a while, though. So thanks for watching this one. Oh, one more thing. I don't know if any of you guys follow or watch Andy Detweiler, Harmless Farmer, and his videos, but I heard that he passed away yesterday, which is unexpected and sudden, and I don't know how old he was, but quite an inspiration. Go watch some of his old videos. He lost both of his arms in a farming accident when he was a little kid, and just didn't let him hold him back at all. So sad news there. Prayers for his family. But yeah, anyway, have a great night, everybody. I will see you in the morning. I have to go edit a YouTube video.